What's going on, guys? Welcome to the book club video for this month. We read 2 books. I almost did this. We read 2 books this month, and we're going to be talking about them in this video. We read the Book of M and the Poppy War.
Basically, this is going to be a totally spoilery video. So if you have not read either of these books, I would not watch it.
Or just watch it and get stuff spoiled for you.
We will be holding up the book we're talking about while we're talking about it. So if you want to, like, listen about one and skip the other, you know when you can turn on and off the volume.
What are we starting with?
I guess we'll start with this one.
That's the one we both read first, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So, if you don't know, this is about a young, basically peasant girl, which apparently she was some sort of, like, war orphan, which I didn't know.
They said it right at the beginning.
I forgot.
They were like, she's a war orphan.
So anyway, start off, I gave this book a 3 out of 5.
I gave it like a 2.5.
So,
like, that's being generous, in my opinion, for my tastes. Okay?
I thought that the beginning was really, really awesome. And you're following this girl, I forget how young she was when it first started, but she was pretty young. And kind of her studying for this test and getting accepted into the most prestigious school and going there and just kind of like her being like a kid growing up, basically.
Yes,
and
but
training.
She was kind of like that, almost like a classic Cinderella story where she was being taken care of. It was auntie something, right? Her aunt, which wasn't really her family. She was just a war orphan that got adopted, but she was kind of treated really badly. She ended up like learning all this stuff so that she could pass this Kaiju or something like that was the name of the test that she was trying to take. And it basically, she got accepted into this big fancy school, which was like for rich kids, but like war rich kids. Everybody in this world is like,
it's a very heavy like strategy based book and a war heavy book.
I would say war, but I wouldn't go as far to say strategy.
Political.
Yeah, political stuff. And
which normally I don't really like that kind of stuff, but I feel like that part was done okay.
That part was good, yeah.
But you've mentioned to me like on the side that it's very like, there are 3 parts to this book, and each part, it feels like a completely different story.
And it's legitimate, like, parts. It's like part 1 is finished, and then part 2 starts. But it almost seems like the different parts are almost written by different people.
You're literally going through this world, and it's like she's in school, and then bam, part 2 hits, and it's like the middle of a war.
Yeah,
it's like, what happened?
Which was funny because I even asked you, I was like, oh yeah, time went by, right? Like a bunch of time went by, and that's why all that's happened. And you're like, because you were a little ahead of me, you were like, no, that's not what happened. But I mean, the first part was good. I was like, wow, this is written really cool. Characters are cool. And then as soon as they changed out of that school setting to like the war setting, I feel like it wasn't written as well. I definitely don't think that it was just as good. It was too much information, too much things that we should have already known. I feel like if you go back and read it again, maybe you'll understand it better, but books shouldn't be like that. You shouldn't have to read it twice to actually understand what's happening. It was just too much. The character names are all like, I'm assuming that they're some sort of like traditional Chinese names. Some of them I'm sure they are, because
Rin, Suni, Zhang.
The author was definitely written Zhang, really? Like the other?
Zhang.
Like, isn't that his last name?
Yeah, they're spelled completely different.
Oh, okay, but they're pronounced the same.
Yeah.
All right, got it.
I think. I don't know how to say his name.
The author was like inspired by a lot of like
Asian culture.
Yeah, old stuff like that. So
I feel that a lot of the characters, you know me, like I like character development. The only character that really has much development in this seems to be Rin herself.
The main character.
But I feel like there just wasn't enough for me, or not enough like interactions with characters that like give you like yummy feelings inside. But like Zhang was like one of my favorite characters in the beginning, and then he turns out to be like
her tutor, her master.
And he turns out, because like he's kind of mysterious and aloof, and you kind of think that he's this like jokester kind of guy.
He's like Yoda. He's like Yoda.
Yeah. So, but then he turns out to be this like super serious like boring character. And
He's
it's
like Yoda.
Yeah.
Because Yoda was like a master, you know, and you meet him and he's like kind of goofy and like a silly character. Again, that's a big...
But Yoda's still a great character. Zhang, to me, like, the way he was written later on in the book, he's a completely different character.
Yeah, he's very serious and very like, I gotta do the right thing and blah, blah, blah. As soon as that war started, basically the first half of this book, I would give it like a 3.5 to 4. And then everything from there on just kept getting worse and worse. Like, it wasn't, the ending was...
I feel like page like 200 on.
The ending was just kind of boring and like I didn't care. I never cared about the characters after part 1 ended. I did not care about what happened to anybody. I was just trying to get through it, to get to the end, to see what happened, and I didn't really care. I could have stopped. The only reason I didn't is because we make these videos and I needed to finish it to tell you guys about it. But I didn't care anymore, and that's the worst part about a book. Like, if I don't care, then why am I going to keep reading it, right?
No.
And for me, I would say it's even like a pass.
I
don't know where the hype is coming from for this book.
There's a lot of hype
but
for this book.
It's definitely a pass.
And
for
people
me.
are like, oh my god, it's so brutal in the end. I mean, if you watch TV in America, like, it's not that brutal.
If you play video games,
yeah.
You know, if you watch
like, yeah,
movies.
Yeah,
I mean,
there are
look
some
at,
brutal things that happen, but as I was reading it, I wasn't like, oh my god.
Let's go back to Star Wars. Planets get blown up in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Whole worlds die, you know? And I'm like, well, they died. Just get the Dragon Balls and wish them back.
I don't know. There is so much hype, and I feel like if the whole book was written like the first 200 pages, slam dunk, it would have been a fantastic book.
They should have, and it's not over. There's like another part or however many, I don't know if it's a duology, trilogy.
What happens in the end? She's on some boat.
Qualogy, what's
I don't know.
Fourology.
Series. But I feel like at the end of the book, she's on some boat and she literally like decimated a city. And now this is another thing that bothers me. Rin is supposed to be this super badass like character that doesn't care about anything. She just does what she wants. But then why, if she thinks that she's doing the right thing by getting rid of this Mugen or whatever that city was, Mugen, how do they say it?
Mugen.
How come once she gets rid of that city, she feels super bad about it and starts like sulking about it? Dude, no. Like, if a character is supposed to be a badass character that doesn't care and she's doing things for the better good, no matter what anyone says to her, Rin is a stubborn character. She shouldn't be put in a situation where what's-his-face talked to her and made her feel bad about it. I don't even remember who did.
Her master?
Kitty?
Listen.
Someone did. She had a conversation with someone at the end, and they basically made her feel bad about it, and then she was sulking about it. And I'm like, no, that's not the type of character that she is. She doesn't care.
And I don't care about the next book whatsoever. And the characters, I only knew who was talking after. They would say a name, and I'd be like, I don't remember who that is. And then they would start talking, and I'd be like, oh, okay, that's that guy from before that was her friend in school. Kitty, whatever his name was. That, you know what I mean? I would only know because of the way that they were talking and stuff like that. So I never knew characters. And like, it's like, I mean, I don't know if it's because the names are so unfamiliar to me and that's why I never really cared or knew who was talking. But everybody was so like interchangeable.
But yeah, there just wasn't the character development that I wanted.
Yeah, I didn't like it. So I personally, for me, I would never read this book again. So therefore I would say it's a pass for me. We have a new section thing that I came up with. I made this by hand, so don't judge me, okay? But we're going to be, every time we finish a book, I don't know if we're going to do just the book club videos, the book club books, or if we're going to do all the books that we read. We're going to be posting them on this. All right, so look how great this looks, right, guys? Look at that. Boom. So here, I'll explain this to you. This is Meekachii. I don't know why it's backwards, all right? That's just how it is. But apparently this is her, where she's voting. These are the best books, are going to be towards the top. And then the not so best books, I don't know if you guys can read that, but it says not so best books are going to be towards the bottom, all right? And then these are our reads for 2018.
I like the shadows. Makes it look like they're popping.
No, it doesn't. They actually are popping out because they're made out of like hard stuff. But yeah, I was like, I made this. You're welcome.
So plop the poppy.
All right, so peel those off.
So I voted mine like right in the middle, right?
Yeah, sure. All right, mine is gonna go. Hey, where's it gonna go? There. I'm gonna put it right there. No, right there. Wait, if this is a 1, this is a 2, this is a 3. We're gonna put right there. Kaboom! So that's where we're at with that right there. Okay, good, got him. Alrighty, so next up we have Book of M, which thoughts?
I gave it a 4. I really liked it. I had some issues with it, but as a whole, I really enjoyed it, and I really looked forward to listening to it. We both listened to this on Audible. I did pick it up and read portions of it, but mostly I listened to it.
I gave it a 3, I would say. It could have been better. There was a lot of things that I was like, man, why didn't they do this better than what they did?
So I feel like some of the traveling droned on a little bit, and they could have cut that out and given us more explanation as to what happened in the world. Like, why are people losing their shadows? Guess what? You never find out. And
so if you like conclusions and answers to
everything,
like let's say a zombie apocalypse, right, is happening, and you want to know, ooh, what caused that? Was it the umbrella virus? I don't know.
Is that Resident Evil?
Yeah. What happened? Why is this happening to everybody? You never find out. So if you guys don't know, right, if you guys didn't read this, then you shouldn't watch the rest of the video. Just saying. Smash that like button, thumbs up button, and then come back and listen to it later.
We're gonna be spoiling stuff.
We're gonna be spoiling stuff. So one person loses their shadow, and nobody realizes what's happening. Everybody's like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" Blah blah blah. What's going on?
They were he was like a god to them.
Yeah.
And people were asking him to marry their daughters and all these crazy things.
And then other people start losing their shadow, but then with losing your shadow, you also start losing memories. And it happens to different people in different rates. Nobody ever explains why it's happening to you so fast, why it's taking me a month to lose all my memories. But then they introduce this thing I'd say about halfway through the book, they introduce the magic. And the way the magic system works, I wouldn't even really call it a system, is you have to give up memories so that you could use the power. And the power is almost like a genie. It's almost like you just wish for something to happen.
All right, that's not how I read it. How I read it was you basically, in this world, you forget that the impossible is impossible. Mm-hmm. So, and that's why the magic works. So it's not that you just magically forget something and now I have a power and I can do whatever.
But again, at some points they manifest that and they are able to successfully use something. Like, let's say I'm gonna forget you, but I'm gonna be able to teleport myself into another place. How do you possibly consciously do that?
You can't.
That's the thing.
I mean,
you can't
honestly, if you think I'm gonna forget this thing, you'll never forget it because it's you're thinking about that thing. But
then
how I understood it is as you're losing your shadow, you're slowly losing memories, and you're literally forgetting that certain things are impossible, and that's why they're popping into existence or able to happen. So, for example,
Statue of Liberty.
The Statue of Liberty. Someone forgot that the Statue of Liberty didn't move and must have been afraid. And they did say that fear and anxiety increase
makes you forget
the
faster.
Magic.
But also makes you forget faster.
It makes you forget faster, and it allows you to do things in the world. So, someone may have been afraid of the Statue of Liberty and forgot that she couldn't just walk around and smash New York to pieces. I think that was really cool, actually. The fact that she explained it in that way.
Okay. So some people may love that part of it and some people may hate it because it was explained, but it wasn't explained. It was kind of like a cop-out, I feel. It was kind of like, I actually read a thing that she was saying, I want to write a book about shadows. I have no idea what I'm going to write. That was how the book started. It was it's shadows are going to be the main story for this book.
But I found it kind of cool how she took Peter Pan into it and that must have been some sort of inspiration. That Peter Pan lost his shadow and it was able to be hidden in placed places.
So I personally feel the whole magic could have been cut out of it. Just the fact that people were losing their shadows and losing their memories. I feel that get rid of the magic and it would have been a fine
Yeah, but the book would have been completely different. You wouldn't have the wall of water. You wouldn't have
Again,
like...
that was the last 2 chapters of the book. Not literally, but it was like the last like 10% of the book that happened in. Again, take that out. Take the elephant. If you guys read it, the elephant thing, like, come on, what was that?
Honestly,
the elephant shadow, like it could have been manifesting like the elephant's spirit thing or whatever.
I
but,
don't
like,
understand where the elephant came from.
it was the elephant that the memory thing. Yeah.
But I don't understand why.
Me neither.
What's his face manifest the man who gathers? Why he like had an elephant?
The one who gathers.
Excuse me.
Well, the one who gathers was the elephant. And another thing too is like it's a completely different personality. So it was like that guy lost his personality and gained.
Like never talked again.
I know. That
was weird.
It was like
another
he died.
thing that I found was weird was that they never ever mentioned children at all.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
you don't know if children lose their memories faster, slower, like
you
at
don't
the
know
same
anything.
rate. You don't. They literally never mention a child.
It's such like a mysterious thing that like. Give me an answer, like give me something. And again, some people may love that it doesn't have any answers. Some people may love to like just try to figure out their own thing. But that's not. I like detail. If it's a book, you know, like this is a decently long book, right?
It's like 500 pages.
Almost 500 pages. It's decently big. Like give me a segment where you know, like give me a jump forward at the end, you know, where they figured out some more about it. Give me like a prologue, like a 2-page prologue. Give me something. I hate books that tease all this stuff, and it's like, why is this happening? That's what I loved. Sufficiently Advanced Magic, because it's all fake, but they give you explanations for stuff, and like I love stuff like that. I love knowing why.
I don't really mind
systems.
I don't mind that they don't explain why the virus exists. Little things.
Is it a virus?
Whatever.
It's not a virus. Since when do viruses give you magic?
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
I don't really care why it's happening.
Look,
that didn't bother me.
Tell me that it's a virus, and I would be 10% happier. Like, tell me it's a virus. It's a virus, and that's what's going on. It affects people because of age, because of more memories, because of brain activity, something.
Yeah.
Intelligence.
I agree.
Anything.
They should have explained a little bit better as to why people lose their memories faster than others, blah, blah, blah.
Why didn't it affect the insomniac, which is the amnesiac. Amnesiac.
Well, because he lost his memories prior, but I'm sure tons of people that.
But he had memories, and then there was other people that were at the hospital with him. They lost their memories. Why didn't it affect him? Because he only had one eye? Why? Do you see what I'm saying?
No, it's because he had been an amnesiac. Like, he had no past.
But there were other... Just because he was the one that had... what was it? Retrograde amnesia. But the other ones had Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
So they still lost their memories, though. Like... tell me why, you know? Like, explain it to me.
Now, those things, like... I don't really care about the origin. Like, I could take it or leave it. If they told us, cool. If not, it doesn't bother me.
Again, look, wait. Before you go on.
Keep stopping me.
It's not super important to me, but I just feel like we got copped out. And again, I didn't hate this book. A 3 for me is like a good book. I recommend it. It's good. But now, like you know, like I've said before, a 4 is excellent. A 5 is like my favorite book of whatever time I read it. Okay? So it's good. I like it.
The things that bother me not knowing about is like Max. Where the hell? What happened to her?
See, I don't care.
That drives me nuts.
Because it doesn't matter.
Like the fact that she was this huge character, and like you literally read through her half of the book, or not half. I'd say about a third of the book. But she like just disappears, and like you don't know what happened to her. That drives me crazy.
But it doesn't matter because at that point she had already lost her memory, and what's her face probably
is she dead? Who knows?
But if she's not, it doesn't matter because
it matters to me.
You can't rip the soul out of the thing. You can't rip the shadow off of someone without killing them. So therefore,
you didn't rip it off of her.
I know she didn't have her shadow, but to get her shadow off of
the recording,
Matilda or whatever her name was, the lady Ursula, yeah, to get her shadow off of her and put it on Max, Matilda would die.
I don't understand what you're saying.
So, even if, by now, right, if they found her body, if they found Max,
I get
it wouldn't matter, because Max, that's just an empty shell of, it's just a body. And, like, I don't know, it was good, But like the end, if you guys are sticking around,
he guessed the ending.
I did.
I don't know how, because that whole the shadow being attached to Ursula instead of Max totally blew my mind. When it happened, I literally stopped reading and I was like, what?
What did you think when I texted you predicting
I was
that?
like, how did he predict this?
Yeah.
I never would have guessed that.
So
I'm
gonna say that I'm pretty good at predicting dumb stuff like that. But
that was a good prediction.
The reason I predicted it is because when we got towards the end, if I was Gagajangang, right? Gagajagang. If I was the elephant guy.
What is his name?
Gajagangang. If I was him and like you had lost your spouse and you were Max and then I found your spouse, right? I would have, as soon as I found out that he was your Ori, I would have been like, dude, I found your wife. Let's go see her. Remember I told you I restored somebody? That was her. I wouldn't spend 2 more chapters getting you ready. Because I already said that I restored you. You were the one person that succeeded. They've been there for a couple weeks.
That's kind of...
That's the reason that made me predict it. Is because why would the author write it like that? Why would they extend it? Like, there was... The author said, oh, Gagagangang has to get her ready for him. Why? I thought he already restored her memory. Just tell her like, yo, I found, remember the guy that you wrote about or that you talked about in your recording the whole time? I found him, dude. Like,
but
I found him.
A part of me wants to believe that he didn't know what he did. Because...
No, he didn't.
So, like, that makes no sense, your point. Like,
Wait. What he did was put her in the wrong body?
Yeah, I don't think he knew.
He didn't. That doesn't matter.
Why was he prolonging it in your mind?
Oh, because the author wanted to write it like that. And they never explained why. He just said, I have to get her ready. What does that mean, get her ready? He already restored her.
Because I feel like if he knew, he would have warned her. Like, hey.
He didn't know.
I know.
I'm just telling you what the book told me. The book told me that he had to get her ready. I don't know what that means. And that's the reason that I was like, why are they doing this? Oh.
Because he has to tell her, like, hey, I found your husband.
How long does that... Meek, ready? I'm Ganga. Max, I found your husband. Done. Let's go see him. The end. Problem solved. Take 10 minutes. He can, like, teleport. He's a shadow dude. Go teleport over there, tell her, and then bring her back. Or vice versa. Bring him to her. Why the build-up? Why the 2-chapter build-up to reveal? There has to be a reason. The reason is she's not Max. She is Max in memory, but not Max in person.
I was mind blown.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. Some of us just, I'm just saying.
I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I gave it a 4.
I gave it a 3, but let's vote on the board. Peel my thing back. Peel this back. Come on. Peel it. Let me go first. Peel that back. Give me that one. All right. So this one, I'm going to give it a 3, which goes right there. And put it off to the side. Boom.
I gave mine a 4.
That's like a not so much a 4.
This is a 5.
Okay, sure. Well, this is where we're at, guys. Look at that. Boom. I know that's not me. I'm not Meekachii and she's not Kivox, but whatever, Let's just hide behind it.
I was trying to get to the other side, but you're too far away.
Okay, all right.
So that was this month's book club. We are going to be putting up a video soon explaining what we're reading next month. If you'd like to join, yeah.
Go watch that video. We got 2 new books for next month. Also, we're doing the Booktubeathon this week. It's a week, right? Oh my god, I'm gonna die. So we're gonna do that.
I did it last year successfully. I read 7 books in 7 days.
Nice job, you're so cool. Oh
and
my
they
god.
Were all, I think 300 pages or more.
You had an advantage. You were off of work that whole week.
Yeah, it was.
So you just read literally. I didn't see you for 7 days. So
I was like in bed reading, except the one I had to read outside. That sucked. I hope they never choose that one again.
So that was fun. All right, guys. So we do a live stream for the book club every month. This upcoming month is going to be August 26th, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's a Sunday. And sometimes it varies a little bit. It'll be maybe a little bit later.
It's hard to to plan a month ahead.
It's not at all, in my opinion. Some people just don't like to plan. But we are going to be doing it around 2 o'clock Eastern Standard. If it gets pushed back, we always tell you guys. So make sure to subscribe, like the video if you liked it, and join us for those 2 books. We're going to be releasing the video of what those 2 books are soon. So go check that out. If that's not out yet, just wait like a day or 2 and it'll be out. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, bye, bye.